The gas was on in the institute, the flare was up in the gym. A man was running a mineral line, a lass was singing a hymn.
Oh, Bayek, Shropshire's changed a bit since Sir John Betjeman's day. They no longer have gas lighting at the Institute, but instead have towns like this one, built in the 1960s as part of the government-sponsored new towns, along with places like Milton Keynes and Skelmersdale.
I'm in Telford in Shropshire, probably most famous for the Iron Bridge, the world's first ever iron bridge built in around 1770. The big question, of course, is will the property that's up for auction be a bridge to financial success for the lucky auction buyer?
They say that one sure way to make money is to buy the worst house in the street and do it up. Well, from the outside at least, this house looks like it might be in a league of its own.
So, 2-bedroom, semi-detached, ex-local authority house, guide price 60,000 quid. What do you get for your money? Well, not a bad size space. Good to see this. It's obviously boarded up on the outside. You never know quite what you're going to find. Thankfully, the glass hasn't been broken, so that's going to save you some money. Front sitting room area, reasonable space here, gas fire, and then through into, well, fairly shoddy kitchen, but again, reasonable size space. Obviously want to get rid of all these units, but you know, get a £2,000, £3,000 kitchen in here, you definitely change the feel of this. So, you know, not a bad start. Well, upstairs, no great surprises, just a really sensible layout. Small landing, great to see, an upstairs bathroom with a loo and a bath itself. Reasonable sized first bedroom, and a good-sized second bedroom. Now, something I noticed when I was downstairs, these look like brand spanking new radiators. I wonder, a brand spanking new boiler as well.
Bearing in mind the cost of a new central heating system, this is a nice add-on for a house that's starting to show its true potential.
Good space, with the nice additional thing, bit of extra storage there. So all in all, the house is making the most of itself, and I like it.
Well, the garden could do with a few hours of industrial strimming, but generally the buyer will be getting plenty of living space for a guide price of £60,000. I've asked a local property expert to tell me more. How much could this property be worth if it was done up to match the neighbouring houses?
If the property is refurbished to a tickety-boo state, then you would be looking between 105 and 110,000 on the open market.
Well, it's certainly not tickety-boo at the moment, but it might be soon. Let's see who bought it.
Now move to Telford in Shropshire, 26 Windsor Road in the Wellington area of Telford. What's this, 60 to start? 55 then. Bidding in the middle, sir. £55,000, bid in the middle, at £55,000. 60 can I say now? At 55, everybody's waving, took you seated, 60. Unit 65, 65. 70 seated, 75. No, at £75,000. £76,000. 77? £77,000. I'm taking the lady. £78,000. 79, sir. At 78,079. 80. 81. No, at 81,000 seated. 82 anywhere. At £81,000. Are we all done? You back in? 82. 83. No. £83,000 then. Bid seating left, no mistake. At £83,000. Are we all done? At 83,000, I'm selling it then, at £83,000. Bought it, sir, well done.
The lucky buyers were husband and wife team, Steve and Ruth. Steve is a former surveyor who started to build new houses in his local Telford area 15 years ago. 5 years ago, he and Ruth started to branch out into buy-to-lets. Now they have a large portfolio of rental property, with this new edition of Windsor Road being number 16.
You're 16, you're beautiful, and you're mine.
Ruth, Steve, lovely to meet you both. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Why did you want to buy this house?
We've been buying rented houses to rent out for about 5 years now, and this one seemed a reasonably good buy at the price we bought. So it's not too bad a shape.
No?
The locality's quite good for renting.
Are you locally based?
We live about 3-4 miles from here, not far away, just outside the town. We're coming to the stage now where we do really want to
semi-retire and just look after a portfolio of houses to rent, basically.
Yeah.
Retiring on a portfolio of 16 rented properties sounds nice. How did they get into buy-to-let in the first place?
I had a building company building new houses for approximately the last 12 years, something like that, and we decided to go into renting out houses as well, so we bought 1 or 2 older houses as well as building new houses to rent out as well.
And how does it work between you? Do you run it as a joint business or what?
Ruth usually does the accounts for the construction arm and also looks after the lettings, and then I look after the building and the maintenance on all the houses once we're done.
So what do you look for in terms of the stuff you're buying now to rent out?
Well, basically I look for neighbourhood and to see what the houses next door are like, to see if we can do something really with the house rather than just leave it as it is and just do a quick redecorate. We want to actually alter it a little bit.
It's always important really to try and, when you gauge the street, to try and buy the worst house in the street and not go for the best. We always look at neighbours' gardens. If the neighbours around are usually quite tidy and clean, then once you've finished your development, then it'll fit in quite well.
So let's come on to this particular house then. What were your thoughts about it and why did you like it enough to buy it?
There's a few small cracks on it, but nothing dramatically wrong as far as structural problems.
It shouldn't take too long to turn around, because that's the most important thing, being able to do the work and turn it around quickly to get tenants in.
So what's the budget for the works?
Between 6,000 and 7,000, about £6,500 to £7,000, that's all.
Yeah.
We've got
Bear in
good
mind,
contacts.
we're going to be using our own men that we've used for over the years, and we're going to be putting in a little bit of labour ourselves.
And timescales?
6 to 8 weeks.
Nice.
It should be finished.
You're 16, so beautiful, and you're mine.
So with such a large property portfolio, Steve and Ruth must be doing something right. Do they have any tips for other wannabe property magnates?
So from your point of view, what do you think the secret to successful letting is?
Choosing the tenants yourself, definitely. Vetting them yourself, not just relying on an agent. Because I've used agents in the past before, and really they can send you completely the wrong tenant for the location to start off with, and also the wrong tenant to fit in with the sort of tenants, the people living next door and so on.
So when you're sort of interviewing people, what are you looking for?
Well, I like to interview them myself because I'm going to have a lot of liaison with them over the time here. I'm not one of these landlords who just sort of gets a tenant in and then sort of forgets about them for 2 years. I like to sort of get a sort of bond going on between them and me, so it's important that I know a lot about them, whether they've got pets, children, they've got relatives living nearby, and generally just sort of see if they're the kind of tenant that I can get on with.
And has it been successful so far?
It has so far, yes. I think of all the tenants that we've had, we've perhaps only had one that we haven't really approved of, but all the rest have been really nice, yeah.
So in terms of design then, what are you going to do with this place?
Well, this one, I want to sort of decorate it so that it's going to appeal to either to a young family or maybe even older people, so I'm going to keep it fairly neutral. In the kitchen, we're going to use units that we've used before. They're like a light beige colour. In the bathroom, we're going to be putting a new bath in. We will probably, because it's for rental, keep the old toilet in.
And then just everything else, just basically, it's painting, decorating and carpets?
Decorating, carpets, laminate flooring here, lino in the kitchen.
So that it's ready for somebody to move in straight away, basically.
And do you have an idea of what you're going to get in terms of rental?
If we get a family that are on housing benefit, I expect to get around about £450 per calendar month. If it's for private rental, which we could go along that road at the same time, we would be looking at around about £500 a month, something like that.
Right. So in terms of what you paid for, that's quite a good return, isn't it?
Yeah.
So all in all, another successful addition to the portfolio?
Oh, we hope so, yes. Yeah.
Well, listen, congratulations and good luck with it all. I hope it turns out well, I'm sure it will.
Thank you.
So, another property for Steve and Ruth to add to their portfolio, and some fairly simple plans they've got for doing this place up, which I think is absolutely right. How are they going to get on? You can find out later in the show.